The situation in the Middle East is absolutely explosive. The Houthi armed forces in the Red Sea have gone all out, with hypersonic missiles directly tearing through Israel's defense lines. Airports, military bases, and ports have been targeted one after another. French President Emmanuel Macron suddenly announced the recognition of the State of Palestine, which has thrown Israel into total chaos. In the early hours, the Houthis carried out another major operation. This time, instead of bombing airports or power plants, they directly targeted military factories in Tel Aviv. A single attack blew off the roof of the factory building. This move is intended to cut off Israel's supply of weapons and ammunition, and their tactics are becoming increasingly fierce. In fact, the Houthis have not stopped their attacks recently. Drones and missiles are being launched at Israel as if they were free. Ben Gurion Airport and ammunition depots in Tel Aviv are all key targets. The key to the Houthis' strength lies in the low cost and high effectiveness of their operations. Their homemade drones cost only $2,000 each, and when paired with Russian-made Iran anti-ship missiles, they rely on saturation attacks. For Israel, intercepting such a cheap drone or missile costs $200,000, which is a losing deal no matter how you calculate it. Once Israel's air defense systems are sufficiently depleted, the Houthis' Palestine 2 missiles will come into play. These missiles can reach a speed of 15 Mach and perform snake-like maneuvers, making them impossible for the Iron Dome system to intercept. High-value targets such as oil refineries and power plants have all become sitting ducks. The Houthis' attack methods are still evolving. They use drones with Iranian technology to fly at ultra-low altitudes over the Red Sea, making them difficult to detect by radar. The port of Eilat has suffered heavy losses, with cargo ships being attacked repeatedly. Other ships are too scared to come, 2 cranes have been destroyed, and repair teams are afraid to carry out repairs for fear of being bombed. 100 containers are stuck there, and the port has to be permanently closed. What's even more severe is that the Houthis have directly blocked the Red Sea shipping lane, barring any ships with ties to Israel from passing through. As a result, the port of Tel Aviv has also lost business and had to shut down. The economy in southern Israel has completely collapsed. These high-frequency, unpredictable attacks have tormented the Israeli people. They are either hiding in bomb shelters or on their way to them all day long. 470,000 members of the elite class can no longer bear it, packing their bags to leave. Airports are crowded with people departing. They are not afraid of rockets, but have completely lost confidence in the country. With the way Netanyahu is fighting this war, he has failed to eliminate the Houthis and Hamas, while his own economy has collapsed and he has lost the people's support. The United States can't sit still anymore. To help its ally catch a breath, it has started playing dirty tricks, trying to stir up chaos within Yemen first. Last Wednesday, the Yemeni government forces intercepted a cargo ship in the Red Sea. The ship was loaded with 750 tons of weapons parts, missiles, radars, drones, sniper rifles, you name it, enough to arm a reinforced battalion. The Yemeni government forces insisted that this was a shipment from Iran to the Houthis, and the Houthis suffered heavy losses this time. Sure enough, on July 25th, the Houthis, infuriated, launched a 3-pronged assault on the government forces. The two sides fought fiercely for 12 hours, with the wreckage of armored vehicles piling up like mountains on the battlefield. The government forces barely held their ground only with helicopter support. Although they killed over 40 Houthi fighters, they also lost 10 of their elite troops, making it barely a Pyrrhic victory. On the surface, it looks like a brutal civil conflict, but anyone with a discerning eye knows what's really going on. Behind the Yemeni government forces stand the United States and Saudi Arabia, while the Houthis, the strongest armed group, are backed by Iran. Normally, the government forces are no match for the Houthis at all. This time, being able to intercept the ship with such precision would have been impossible without intelligence provided by the United States. The United States has a shrewd plan. Using its own expensive missiles to attack the Houthis is like using a cannon to shoot a mosquito, and Israel can't reach the Houthis' vital points. So, it's using the government forces as a pawn to tie down the Houthis, giving Israel a chance to catch its breath. Unexpectedly, Saudi Arabia stepped in to disrupt things. Saudi Arabia is also an ally of the Yemeni government forces but reached a reconciliation with the Houthis last year. This time, it directly put a stop to the conflict, telling the government forces not to get involved. The Houthis, already furious, announced that they would launch an all-out war against Israel. The United States' move truly backfired. Intending to help its ally out of trouble, it instead completely ignited the Houthis' anger. When Israel heard that the Houthis were going to wage an all-out war, it immediately backed down and quickly asked the United States to pass a message, saying it wanted to hold trilateral talks with the United States and the Houthis. But the Houthis didn't even bother to respond, directly retorting, "The war has been going on for almost 2 years. If talks were possible, they would have happened long ago. There's nothing to talk about now, only one word, fight." The Houthis clearly aren't giving Israel any breathing room. Their strategy is simple and crude. No matter where trouble breaks out in the Middle East, as long as Israel is involved, they'll hit it hard. When Israel attacks Gaza, the Houthis act. When Israel threatens Iran, the Houthis step up. Even when Israel bombs Syria, the Houthis retaliate by bombing Israeli airports and ports. This tactic has infuriated Netanyahu. Ports are closed, foreign capital has fled, tourism has collapsed, and elites have escaped. Israel wants to retaliate. It sent warplanes, which were nearly shot down. Drone attacks are like scratching an itch. Decapitation operations fail every time, and if it wants to send ground troops, there are over 1,000 kilometers in between, and its army is incompetent. Sending troops would be like sending them to their deaths. Israel is now basically lying down and accepting its fate. Even Netanyahu, a hardliner, has softened his stance, saying he wants to negotiate a 60-day temporary ceasefire with Hamas. If that fails, he is even considering seeking a permanent ceasefire. Hamas hasn't responded yet, but France delivered another heavy blow. Macron recently announced that France would recognize the State of Palestine. As a G7 member, this news immediately caused an uproar in Israel. Netanyahu was so enraged that he stamped his feet, furiously denouncing it as rewarding terrorism, his face filled with panic over the shifting stance of Western allies. But Macron paid no heed to him, emphasizing the need to promptly implement the two-state solution. He dared to take this step, driven by the humanitarian disaster in Gaza. 25 Western countries have jointly condemned Israel, and public resentment is running high. With France taking the lead, Spain immediately expressed its support, and Britain's attitude has also loosened. The entire Western camp may well follow suit and shift its position. What's more, South Africa, leading 32 countries, has taken Israel to the International Court of Justice in The Hague. This has completely shattered Israel's international image. Having fallen to such a state, if Netanyahu doesn't adopt a peaceful posture and continues to cling to a fight to the end, his downfall will indeed be imminent.